Hi everyone, welcome into Let's Draw. Hope you're doing well. Thank you very much for joining so early on. Um, Great to be here. We've got a special episode of Let's Draw today. We'll talk more about that in a few seconds. First thing I want to do is I just want to get Discord started. So I know there's a few of you waiting in Discord. We will get that started in a second. Joff is kind of hanging around in the background, the man in the chair. Joff, are you there? Are you available?
I am. Yeah, there and available.
Excellent
All
stuff.
the things.
How are you today, mate? You all right?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks. Yeah, pretty good.
Excellent. That's good to hear. Could you do me a favour? Could you start the stage in the Discord, because I forgot all about that.
I can.
I can't find where to start it. So while Joff's doing that, let me just introduce what's going to happen today. It's Let's Draw, which is our weekly free drawing lesson broadcast on YouTube, Facebook, X, Abstract, and a few other platforms as well in our Discord. And we tried to broadcast on Instagram today, but somebody forgot to copy and paste the stream key in. I'd love to blame the man in the chair for that, but that was actually my fault. I'm afraid we're not broadcasting on Instagram today. But yeah, welcome in. Those of you that are early in, do appreciate you joining. Mooply, Tracy's in and Paul's in already. Thank you. I'm sure you guys have had enough of me today and drawing. So I appreciate you coming back in. What we're going to do today is we're going to introduce in a few seconds our guest artist. What we're trying to do with Let's Draw is it's not just about me showing you how to draw, but we're going to introduce guest artists. They're going to show you a little bit how they draw in their style, and then we'll take a little look at their artwork as well. I always like getting under the skin of how other people are creating. So that's the plan for today's session. Still going to be a draw along, so if you've got pens, paper, Procreate, that kind of thing, then please join along with us. If you want to share your artwork, get into the Discord and share your artwork there. Here we go. Right, we are launching in the Discord, which is great. Let me just try and get myself on stage in the Discord, like I know what I'm doing. It won't. It won't let me. It won't let me join in the Discord properly. Sorry, guys. You guys in the Discord might have a bit of an issue today. I think we're good to go. Right, hang on a second.
There you go. You should be up now.
Just wait a second. Just talking to Russell a few seconds ago, just before we went live, and he said, "You'd be surprised if anything like this goes without a hitch." And I was like, trying to play it really cool. Now we know what we're doing. This ain't the one show, but we know what we're doing. And of course, we've got a little bit of an issue there. Right, people in the Discord. Hi, people in the Discord. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, you should be able to hear me now. Give me a mic check in the Discord. Thank you very much for joining. We've got a few people in there as well. Welcome in. First thing we'll do, though, let's just quickly whip back to Joff before we go to... actually, let's introduce our guest artist this week. So I've known him for a few years. We've painted together a few paint jams and things like that. I'm a huge fan of his style of artwork. His name is Remouse, and here he is. Hi, Remouse. How are you, mate? You all right?
Oh, I am good, thanks. In enjoying this sun that we've been getting at the minute.
Do you know what? I try not ever to mention the weather, because you can guarantee we'll have somebody who's like joining in from northern Scandinavia or something like that, and they'll just get on and complain about the weather. But yeah, we're enjoying the sun. It's nice here.
Oh, yeah, us Brits love any bit of sun. It's all we'll want to talk about, really.
Make the most of it while it happens, yeah?
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you very much for joining in.
Well, I think... Oh, sorry, I was just going to say, I've become a new dad recently, and I'm sick of talking about it. So I was like, I want to talk about something else, but mentioned it again.
I did think, because I knew about the you becoming a new dad, and there was a little question in my mind about, do I ask about what it's like to be a new dad and a creative as well, and kind of balance the two things. I know I did the same, and I thought, no, I'm not going to mention any questions about the dad. But as you brought it up, how are you finding balancing being an artist and a new dad?
I'm not going to lie, it's been hard, because you never know when you're going to get a free second. I might sit down with the iPad thinking, oh, I've got half an hour because he's asleep. Nope, he'll wake up in 10 minutes. So luckily I've got a very supporting partner who doesn't mind if I disappear for half an hour at night to come and draw.
Brilliant. We all need one of those at home, a very supportive partner, I think, who's going to kind of pick up the slack. Talking of which, Tanya's in the chat. Hi, Tanya. But Tanya's watching on X. Why are you watching on X? Never mind. Anyway, let's not talk about that. Yeah, thank you very much for all the new people that are joining in. Kitty, Tracy, James, Julish, Fish B8. Mardi, Mooply, really appreciate you guys all joining in. Just do me a favour whilst you're there. Just quickly share what we're doing. Go and tag your friends and let them know about it so they can get involved as well. What we were going to do today, I think. So first of all, is it Remouse? Russell, what's the name of choice? What do we go by?
I kind of use Remouse a lot, but I guess I'm not like it was originally set up as like my graffiti name.
Yeah.
But now I'm just a bit more mature. I'm like, I just introduced myself as Raw. I think in the artist community, it's definitely Remouse. So whichever one you want to call me.
Nice one. Yeah, I usually say the same to people as well. Yeah, just call me what you want. It's fine. Where did Remouse come from? That's an unusual name.
Funnily enough, it was from one of those, when you create an account and it's trying to prove that you're not a robot. It's literally from one of them. I was sat with my sister way back when, like trying to think up a cool graffiti name, set up an account on something. And I think she literally clicked on it. She was like, "Oh, what about this one, Remouse?" And I was like, "Oh, that one's quite cool. Am I going to steal that?" And I think a few years later, I found out it's actually a recording software for a computer. So if I ever become a big business, I might be in a trademark dispute.
I shouldn't worry about it, mate. I'm in a trademark dispute with the other corporate over in America. He's a rapper. I've got like 2,000 or 3,000 followers on X. And he's got like 2 million followers on X.
Oh God!
Yeah, no, he did message me to see if he could have the handle. I was like, "Have it? Surely you want to buy it?" But nah, never mind. I don't think I'd sell it anyway. But yeah, I hear that you've got well, Joff. Let me know. Are we doing an NFT giveaway today?
Yeah, of sorts. I still need to work out the logistics. But Russell Remouse has kindly donated a artwork for us to mint as an NFT and give out to, I think, everyone that's watching.
Fantastic.
So, yeah. So all we have to do is just be here, listen out for the potentially a secret word that will be given out.
Beautiful.
And,
that's
see how it goes.
The secret word coming out later. So yeah, listen out for the secret word coming out later. Essentially, that secret word is going to be something along the lines of Joff saying, "I figured it out," and then it'll explain exactly how you can redeem your artwork. So yeah, it looks like wherever you're watching from, whether that's YouTube, Facebook, Discord, or Abstract, you're in with winning, a chance of winning. And at some stage, we will show you that artwork as well. So. Yeah, but we'll do that later. I'm really keen that we're 10 minutes in. I'm really keen that we start drawing. And one of the things Remouse has agreed to do is it's going to show us a very quick drawing, a little bit of a draw along. It'll explain a little bit more about the tools he uses. I'll be trying my best to distract him by asking him loads of questions about what techniques he uses and stuff like that. But if anybody at home wants to join in and draw along, now's the time to draw along. So let's get into your screen. So start off, Russell. Just tell us, because we're not usually I use Sharpie pens for this lesson, but we're not doing that. We're going digital today.
I mainly work digitally. I'm trying to step away from it more because I work on a computer day to day, so I'm trying to use Poscas more. But a lot of the time I am working on my iPad on Procreate. I was trying to think up a reason why I use Procreate, but I don't. It was just the first program people recommended to me when I got my iPad. And I think now like Adobe's come out with a few other drawing softwares, but I'm just sticking with what I know.
Yeah, fair enough. If it works, don't need to.
Yeah.
And what's the plan? What are we going to draw today?
I'm going to draw one of my iconic scoops. Ice cream has become a huge part of my artwork now. It started off as just like a random thing, but I always like my drawings to become part of my own fantasy world. And for some reason now, the ice creams have become like the zombies / demons of my world. So they're like the horde that's invading, and I'll be drawing. And in my other work, I'll draw heroes fighting them. So, and it's what I've become known for at the minute. So I thought I'd show you all how to draw one. I'm pre-warning you, I've never talked about my drawing process. I'm not the best at explaining things, but hopefully we'll get through this.
That is why I'm here, mate. So I'll tee you up at certain points. So first tee up is where do you start when you're drawing? What's the first thing you do? Is it a background sketch, or do you go straight in?
Yeah, normally I am a scribbler, like literally where I'll just be like, oh, I was on the eraser tool, don't be on that. Like, when I'm coming up with an idea, I'll literally just say scribble out really quickly. Sometimes I've sent that to clients and they do not understand it because it's something for my own mind. But because I know how to draw these now, I always say I like to start off with what I call is the main scoop. If you use Procreate, if you hold it down, it can create a nice circle. And I've discovered recently you can easily turn it to a circle like that. So that's what we've got, our main scoop. And I call it the main scoop because I normally create a new layer and I'll create like mini scoops around it. Same again, just create some circles. And I normally make a new layer for these because then I can mess around with them a bit. If I want to change the side, I'll just
So even
do that.
like the equivalent of pencil work, yeah? You're just sketching stuff out. So even at this stage, you're building up different layers for this, yeah?
Oh yeah, I envy artists that could just go straight in it with a pen. I always sketch. But yeah, like, as I was saying before, I like to have a separate layer for the mini scoops because then I can move them around, get them how I want. That works for me. I'm going to go back to the main scoop layer because, like everything, you need guidelines. I like to have faces on my main scoop. So, like as if I was drawing a face, I've kind of got a guideline there. So, I know if I want to do the eyes, a mouth, I've kind of got a basic understanding. I don't know about you and your viewers. I love an ice cream that comes with extras. One of the favorite ones I've ever had was an apple and crumble ice cream with like bits of crumble in it. So that's what I've added to my artwork, and I normally plot them out just by once again drawing random shapes. This is where I thought I'd draw an ice cream because I'm just telling it if people are drawing along, just have fun. Put sprinkles where you want to put sprinkles.
What
So just like that.
when you're first starting with a piece like this, what kind of paper size are you looking at, and what resolution? Is there any like pixel size that you'll go for?
I normally just select the standard A4 size. I think it's 300 DPI because that's just been drilled into me from university. Like, just always have like 300 DPI because things will be sent to print. I print out a lot, so I'm always making sure we're at good DPI and stuff. Also, it's good to add drips in because ice cream does melt once again. Just add how many drips you want. Make it really drippy, make it not. Add a few on the main scoop. So to me now, that's my basic shape of an ice cream. I'm just going to merge the layers because then I like to turn down the opacity.
Yep.
And we're just going to use another color to kind of build it up.
Yeah.
With the sprinkles, what I like to do is start to cut them off like that, adding a bit of detail. Just so if you kind of add in that kind of, I don't even know what to call it, like a bird shape, it kind of gives the impression, that they're pressed in, they're not like random floating bits.
Yeah, yeah.
Hopefully that makes sense. Like I said, I'm rubbish at explaining things.
Yeah, no, just calling it a bird shape, I was like, what are you talking about? And then as soon as I saw the little bit that it's pushed into, it is like a seagull, like a
Yeah,
that you do at school.
it's kind of like that. Yeah, when you're a kid and it's like draw birds, you just do those little shapes.
Yeah, no, that works a treat. That makes sense.
Yeah, so like I said, with this layer, you just kind of build it up because I'm someone that I mean, I won't do this to your pure poor viewers. I might draw this about 10 million times just so it's perfect, but
You,
we'll do a quick version.
you spend quite a lot of time on like the perfecting process and the sketching side of it before you put your outlines on. Yeah.
Yeah, normally, because I think probably like most creatives, I'm never overly happy straight away. So
Right.
I really like to build it up, make sure it's perfect. And it kind of comes from what my university lecturer said to me, that it's good to just draw something and draw it again and draw it again. So then you kind of get used to drawing it, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. It does.
So like I said, I'm just going around now, adding in other bits of detail, just so then the shapes kind of coming together using wonky lines, so it doesn't look super smooth. Like I said, with the little chunks, just add in a few more sprinkles if you want. And we'll give this little guy a face. I normally draw a cute face, but I'm feeling a bit monstrous tonight. We'll give him cute little buck teeth.
Wow. Love that, man.
Like I said, let's give him a tongue. I'm very inspired by cartoons and anime and stuff, so maybe people are noticing like little cartoony traits. Get rid of that. And normally when I delete the first layer sketch, you can kind of see bits more. So then you can decide where to work in to it a bit more. Maybe add a bit. I mean, if my partner's watching, she might be like, "Why do you not draw this quick normally?" Yeah, once again, we're going to knock down the opacity and
The problem
probably
is
we
now
could,
she'll have you churning them out.
yeah, oh yeah, literally. So yeah, now we could probably start adding a thicker outline. I could maybe work into it more, but I won't because I know you wanted to keep it to half an hour.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. We
Um,
sit here and draw for 3 hours, but let's not do that on the first session. Let's just keep it
oh yeah,
short and sweet for your benefit. So yeah, yeah. So if you at this stage you're going in with a different pen, or you still or a different brush, or are you still going in with the same brush?
yeah. So if you're on Procreate, uh, any digital drawing software really, I always like to use one that's got a bit of a pressure.
Hmm.
So you've got the kind of alternating pressure,
Yeah,
and I'll use that for bits like that. So it's like a tail end piece,
yeah, nice.
if that makes yeah. So it's kind of like bits that aren't going to be a solid line. They
Yeah,
kind of need to come to a point. So be like ones like that. And then for a line that's going to be more solid, I'll use one that is just like that. It's just a pure circular kind of line.
yeah. So it's got a round end rather than a tapered end. Yeah.
Yeah. See, the more technical terms. I love using bold outlines. Use thin if you prefer that. Bold outlines, I don't know where it came from. I think like using Poscas and stuff in like my early days of trying to do graffiti and stuff, and I was like, I prefer the bold outlines. Yeah, I'm just kind of like going around everything now. Um, Fun trick, just in case people don't know it, on Procreate, if you draw a line and hold it down, makes it straight. I've like told myself to start sharing like Procreate tips because I kind of just get into a head mind that everyone knows them, but sometimes I'll bring it up to someone, they're like, "Oh, I didn't actually know that."
No, this is it, and it's just
Yeah,
those little tiny tips as well that not everybody knows. I think a lot of guides on how to draw in Procreate go to like a real deep level on it.
Oh,
People just want oh, that look good. Sometimes people just want one tip at a time, please.
oh, my brain's gone.
Excellent. We've broken it.
Yeah, for some reason, my brain, like, I literally use these pens all the time, and for some reason my brain's gone. A studio pen.
It's okay, mate. Nobody's watching.
Yeah, like, I don't know about other people. Sometimes I don't know if there's like a bit of stigma about asking for help. Because I think it kind of comes for me. Like, one time I was on Twitter and someone shared like a Photoshop hack that seemed really simple, but I didn't know.
Yeah.
And so I kind of commented like, "Oh, thanks, this is amazing." And then I feel like some artists were a bit like, "You didn't know that?" So I don't know if that's where I got my stigma of like, "Ooh, maybe don't share things that people know or like bring up when they share something basic."
I mean, that's what I do for a living, mate, is just show people how to do real basic things and keeping it simple.
Yeah, and it's good because you're taking away the stigma, and especially if people aren't really in this scene and they don't really know much.
Oh, mate, you're steaming ahead now with this. This is great.
Oh, like I said, this is literally, I could sometimes what I like to do as well, but I won't be that pedantic tonight, is I'll get like a really fine liner pen and I'll like go in and just really just smooth them out a bit. I'll even do that in like my Posca drawings as well. I would say that's because of my partner. She was always like, smooth out your lines more, just make them really smooth.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, why do I keep selecting that pen? Let's get on that one. There we go. Forgot what I was going to say then.
That's all right. Carry on drawing. I think at this stage, just getting the drawing moving along and being in the zone with the drawing is a good place to be. So do you these lines coming out really straight? This is where you're holding the pen down. Some nice and wonky and loose. Have you got like when I first saw your stuff, you got quite a distinctive style, and one of the questions I get quite a lot is from wannabe artists is how do they find their own style? So did you go in search for your style? Did it just happen naturally, or how did you get to a point where you were able to kind of draw in such a distinctive way?
I feel like it was just years of just drawing. It's what I kind of say the one benefit of going to university for to do an illustration course was, because it kind of gave me that time to really reflect and find my style. It was discovering street art that really helped, because throughout, say, like high school, I loved doodling, but of course, you just kind of show the more modern artists.
Yeah.
And then I discovered like street art, where it was like literally doodle characters on the street, and people were building a career from it. And what I do also like to say is, might be controversial, is steal what other people do in a way. Like, I could look at your art and be like, I really like how Corp draws hands. So I might start drawing hands a bit like you, but then I might like how, say, another artist draws their eyes. I'm like, oh, I'm going to start drawing eyes like that. And I think slowly they start to meld and it kind of almost becomes your own style. That's why I always joke about that. People might be able to look at my artwork and go, oh, your feet really look how this artist draws feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we call it stealing. It's more influenced by or inspired
Yeah.
by.
It's all about the positioning, isn't it? How you position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just conscious this is being recorded, so.
Yeah. But I think any artist out there knows that other artists steal other artists' artwork. But it's like what Russ said there, is it's all about kind of then taking it to that point where it doesn't become their artwork. It's not a flat out copy. It's just being inspired by it. And I definitely think anybody out there that's kind of getting started, copying other artists is the perfect way to start. Just copy and practice what other artists are doing, and eventually you'll find your own way. We are going to have a quick look. So you carry on drawing, Russ. We're just going to have a quick look at, I think this is Tracy's artwork over in Discord. So there we go. Let's just switch over to that. Yeah, there it is. Great job, Tracy. It's looking really good. Tracy's a member of the Corp Academy, and she'll be well pleased that we're using pencils so much, because I've kind of like banned them in the Corp Academy. I make people draw with pens straight away so they can finish nice and quick. But you're selling this kind of pencil work to me, Russ. It's looking really good, and I'm enjoying the way you build up from like a rough sketch, rough circles, then to more little details, and then to actual line work as well. It's looking great.
Yeah, I feel like I keep telling myself to learn to at least draw, say, some characters, because I would love to take part in something like, Secret Walls.
Yeah.
Where they like just ban a pencil. I'm like, God, if they ever asked me, I'd be like, I'm screwed.
Do you think, so have you ever done any, because I know you've done like paint jams and things like that, but I assume you plan for a paint jam so you know what you're going to go and paint. Have you ever done anything like Battle Lines or Secret Walls where you've just kind of made it up on the fly in public?
I kind of did one in Manchester. It's called Art Battle, I think. Did it a couple of years ago now, and that was like you just had half an hour to draw something.
Yeah.
And that was stressful because I was kind of like, well, I can't really plan that out. I had a basic idea in my head. I drew like a bird. And yeah, that was literally just drawing on the fly, like straight away with Poscas. And it was quite nice because at the end, me being the creative was like, this looks awful. But people loved it. So yeah, you got to give yourself more credit sometimes.
Is it something you enjoy doing, you do more of, or is like kind of drawing on your own and having the finished piece and then putting the finished piece out there? Is that more your thing?
I love doing events. I would love to do more, just more because choice. I love chatting with people.
Yeah.
And I love doing events because it's like at that time when I did Corp Fest, just people coming up to you and wanting to draw art, draw art, talk about art. And I've done like Comic Cons before, with like a stall, selling my prints and stuff. And once again, I've done so many of them where I walk away with a loss, and I'm just like, but it was fun because I got to talk to people.
Yeah, excellent. So what you're doing here now? You're going in with a thinner brush.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, with say more finer details, like it could be the character's face or something. I bring my pen down a bit just so I've kind of got more room to work with, and so it doesn't start to look crazy. Because if I was drawing those lines thick, I don't know, it starts to look a bit too bold.
Yeah.
It's probably where I contradict myself. Like I love bold lines, but at the same time I love detail. And in a way that's some. Oh yeah, go on.
I was going to say it's the difference between the outline and the like the detail in it as well, isn't it? It's like the outline of those little sprinkles is the fat line, and then the detail that gives it the shape is the thin lines.
Yeah, that's how I think.
Yeah.
But once again, I'm trying to, in my traditional work, step away a bit from there because I found when using spray paint, you kind of lose the ability to go like this thin unless you're drawing huge.
Yeah.
And it's talking to the artist Jay Sharps a lot about spray painting, and I think he was trying to encourage that as well. Like, don't worry about the detail because most of the time with spray painting, people are stood far away, so they won't notice it.
I think you've already told me before that Jay Sharples was like a bit of an influence starting off. Any other artists out there that you would say kind of influenced you when you were starting out, or that still inspire you now?
Oh, that's a good question. Um, let's see. At the moment, Egypt's is a good one.
Yeah,
Um, Octofly, another huge one. Uh, Crack the Toy. I'm not sure of his real name, but that's his like handle.
yeah.
Uh,
And you've recently.
Matt
Oh, go on, Matt.
Matt Gondek is another good one if you like pop art.
And am I right in thinking you've recently done a? Did you do a collab with Egypts?
Yeah, that's another thing I could recommend to people listening is just collaborate with other artists. Because that was me. Just I think I drew up an illustration and I was like, this would look fun for someone else to add to it. So I just messaged Egypt like, oh, would you mind adding something to this? We can do a little collab, and she was really up for it. And it's just a good because I always say it's good to collaborate with other artists because it's for me a way to fight the algorithm
Yeah,
because a lot of the time people don't see your artwork. And then maybe if you team up with another artist, they could have a lot more followers than you. It might just help you get noticed.
yeah. Either way, it's mutually beneficial, isn't it? If you just find another artist, maybe a similar following to yourself, and collab, then you're introducing yourself to their audience, but them to your audience as well. So it works both ways. So we're just going to have another little look at some of the pieces in Discord. So while Russell carries on with that, let's just have another look at this one's by Ravine. Sorry, Ravine, you posted this quite a few minutes ago, and we've only just got to it. But yeah, that's coming on nice. Looks like you've gone straight in with pen there, Ravine, which is hugely brave. That's awesome, mate. Well done, you. Let's see who else we got in Discord. S, is that silent? I don't know who that is. I've truncated names in Discord for some reason, and so I can't see who this is. It just says S. There you go. We got another one coming along there. A little bit more refinement in the line where. So that drip you've got in the middle, that's like a double-ended flick-off line. Right in the middle there, that's looking really nice. Mouth looks great on there as well. Awesome stuff. So anybody else who wants to share artwork, just go and whip into the Discord. It's discord.gg/corpdogs, and we've got some. It's the easiest place we've found that we can share your artwork. Farts is back. Hey Farts, hope you're doing well, mate. Thank you for joining in. No, let's. Whoops, wrong page. Let's have a little look at Farts. I can't tell whether that's pencil or pen, but either way, that's looking really nice. Looks like a bit of pencil work. Some nice graining in the teeth there as well, making it look a little bit more gnarly. Awesome work, Farts. Well done, mate. And let's get into, I think I saw just one more. OZ's in. Hi, OZ. OZ's another artist. Like Russ has painted at Corpfest, which was an event I used to run a few years ago. Let's have a quick look at OZ's piece. Oz, is this you or is this one of the kids? Oz's got the most talented kids. I've got some artwork up in my studio from Oz's kids, but that's looking nice. Lovely bit of shading in there.
Yeah, that one's from Pickles.
Nice work, Pickles. Well done, mate. Putting mum to shame again. Nice work, Pickles. Thanks, Joff. I should probably point out as well, Joff, our man in the chair, is keeping an eye on all the chats on YouTube.
Just about.
On everything, yeah. That's what he claims to be doing. So yeah, if anybody's got any questions, just put them in the chat, and I'm pretty sure Joff will pick them up and ask questions around. So yeah, nice one, everybody. We've got any more to share from there? I think that's it for Discord at the moment. Good to see. Prin's in as well. Hi, Prin. Prin's watching on Facebook. Prin is the godmother of Battle Lines. So Russ was mentioning earlier about Secret Walls, which is like a live art event. Two, maybe four artists go against each other, get a certain amount of time to battle against each other. That's exactly what happens on Battle Lines. So yeah, really cool to have Prin in. Hope you're doing well, Prin. Thank you very much for joining. Maybe we'll get you drawing on one of these live sessions at some stage. And whilst we're talking about that, let me just quickly remind you, whilst Russ is finishing off his piece and maybe adding some colour. Do you reckon you'll get some colour added in today, Russ?
Oh yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just like really picky about my colours. I'm like, I just want a nice bright pink. Let's try this one.
Nice one.
There we go.
Well, Russ is putting in some colours in there as well. That's what I like about Procreate. You can just drop the colours in quite nicely like that. Artists we've got coming up next week. So we've got Aaron McPhail is going to be our Let's Draw artist for next week. And then the week after, we've got Created by Imri, who's going to be joining us as well. So, if you're out there, if you're an artist and you want to get involved, then just send me or drop a message. We're looking for some artists to join us in May. And who knows, at some stage we might even start off our digital chaos art battles, which was very much influenced by Prin's battle lines, where we hope to get 2-4 digital artists all drawing at the same time on a feed like this, battling against each other, where you guys in the audience get to decide who the winner is. But we'll see. We're early stages on that. Let's have a little look, see what else is going on. Stefan has just dropped something in on the Discord, so let's have a little look at Stefan's. Just minimal pencil work, which I absolutely love, and then straight in with a Sharpie. That's looking really nice, mate. Well done, Stefan's. Who else we got? I did see another one drop in as well. This is Ozzy's Pro Artist. Ozzy's an amazing artist. There's Ozzy's coming out. That could be Remouse's work. Look at that. Absolutely spot on. Nice. Thank you, Ozzy, for sharing that. And who we got? Moop Moop. Hi, Moop Moop. Thank you very much for joining. Great name, Moop Moop. Let's have a little look at Moop Moop's piece. There it is. Awesome. Yeah, and you can see, like, just putting those pencil lines in, you don't always have to go and ink out the pencil lines. So keeping it quite loose with the pencil lines works a treat there. Nice one. Cheers, Moop Moop. Thank you very much for sharing. Let's get back to us. Have you got, like, when it comes to colour, you trained on colour theory, or is it just like pick out a colour that you like and go for a corresponding colour?
Yeah, normally I say I kind of go into an illustration with a colour I really want to use, and I'll try and use that. Normally it's just like a bright colour. Like say with this one, I'm a massive fan of pink. So I was like, I'm going to go for pink. And then I think my brain went to Mr. Blobby. So that's why the yellow kind of things. Because I always say I'll always choose my main colour and then I'll try and get a nice complementary colour. There's lots of apps out there that can help you pick. Even in Procreate, you can try and go on this setting and it kind of gives you options for like ones that go with it. I use a website called Colour Hunt a lot, which kind of has like a load of palettes. I'll like look through that and go, oh, that pink looks nice, and then it'll give you like complementary ones to go with it. And then with shading, it's just simply just getting a darker version of the color, which makes obvious. And then I normally kind of think what the best light source would be, and I never go too dramatic with my shading. Like a comic book artist, where I'm like, oh, I could do it from an underlighting. I'm just like, no, I normally just pick a corner and work with that, just to kind of add a bit of 3 dimension.
Yeah, that makes sense. Just when it comes to shading in, so using Procreate there, I use Fresco quite a lot. And when I shade in like that, the colours I'm using would go over the top of the black lines. How come the colours, that darker shade that you're putting in a pink there, how come it's not going over the top of the black lines?
Yeah, good old layers. It's another reason why drawing digitally is really good, because you can build up layers. Because say, even from like my main color, I just have that above everything else. So with the yellow, to be quick, I just do a quick scribble on, and then once I put the main color back on, it looks all neat and tidy.
Awesome. Is it fair to say that you really have a finished drawing in mind when you're creating something like this? You just kind of go with the flow a little bit?
I've always got an idea in mind when I'm creating. Uh, Sometimes it might change because sometimes things just don't work. Like I might go in thinking, oh, I really want him to have a big sword arm coming through, and then it just won't work, but the body will look cool. So I'm like, right, I'll just have the body and accept that the sword arm is for another day.
Yeah. I know that makes sense. Tracy's asking, do your ice creams normally live in anything like a tub or a cone?
Yeah, I've done a few in a tub. This is kind of one that I call just a floating one. I would say the main one that I draw, like in my head, like the main zombies, they come in a tub.
Hmm.
But this is normally like my go-to quick ice cream, I would say, because I've drawn it a few times when I'm like, it's kind of like my warm-up sketch one.
Hmm. Floating ice cream, love it.
And then also with because I didn't want to overcomplicate it for myself, with the cone or tub ones, they've normally got arms as well. So that's when you can do like them in superhero poses. Just have fun with it. Whereas this one, it's just a nice little floating ice cream.
So earlier on, you mentioned about like as a way of getting started as an artist, or is to kind of like look at other artists, copy their work, and just kind of tweak it a little bit. And one of the things you mentioned was that, and I know this was just an example. You mentioned that if you drew hands, you like copy the way I draw hands. Now I hate drawing hands. I never draw hands. I always draw characters with their hands behind their back. So it was kind of funny that you mentioned that. But is there anything? So, like, I hate drawing hands. Is there anything that you kind of avoid that you just wouldn't draw that you just kind of think this is too much hassle?
Um, I still hate feet. Like I do draw feet. I still hate feet. Um, there's nothing that comes to mind though that I'm like, oh, I'm not drawing that. I'd say I hate drawing in like realistic ways,
Yeah,
but there's no subject matter. I've been teaching myself to draw horses in my style because that's kind of the other notorious one, isn't it? That artists hate drawing horses.
yeah, yeah. Excellent. Oh, I can't wait to see them at some stage. We're just going to whip over to Discord again. So while you wrap up, Russell, we've been 45 minutes. Time has flown. Artwork's looking amazing. But yeah, whilst Russell kind of gets to a point where we're nearly finished with this, it's only just meant to be a quick piece. Obviously, Russell would spend hours doing these finished pieces.
I would.
We're going to have a quick look in Discord. We've got a couple more pieces that have come up in there that I really want to share with everybody. But then we'll have a little look. We'll go back to Joff and we'll have a little look at the giveaway that we're doing today because I can see him sharing that on his screen. It's an awesome piece by Russell, and we'll ask a few questions about it, and then Joff can explain how how you guys can claim your copy. But yeah, let's go to Discord first. And here we go. This is Ravine's piece. That's looking strong, Ravine. That's looking really nice. Excellent stuff. I'm going to stay in Discord because there's a few pieces popped up. So OZ's there. Look at that, full colour. Got the whole family drawing today as well, from what I hear, which is always awesome. I love a little bit of family drawing time. This is one that Beanie did. Another one of OZ's kids, talented kids. Love that. I've tried teaching OZ's kids how to draw, and they just kind of they'll take that initial concept and then they'll just run with it and go with whatever they want. And I love that. And I wish more people could kind of get that nice and early on as artists. Right, let's head over to Joff. So feel free to carry on, Russ, if you want to carry on with that. We're going to just speak to Joff for a sec because it looks like have you figured out how we're going to do the giveaway?
I have, yeah. So if you're keeping an eye on Twitter, you'll already know, or X, you'll already know this. But this week's secret word is, well, I thought scoop.
Makes sense to me. And what do people
Seeing
need
as that's
word?
yeah. So head over to corpdogs.xyz/free. And then there's a big form, password input, stick your word scoop, all lowercase, and hit submit. I'm just going to see if it works for me. Yes, it does.
No.
and then stick your abstract global wallet address in. It has to be an abstract global wallet, not a MetaMask wallet or anything like that. And you can get that just from going to the abstract website, which is abs.xyz. You can sign up in 3 seconds, nice and easy. Once you've done that, get your wallet address, stick it in the form, and then over the next day or so, we'll airdrop everyone a piece from Russ. Did you want to
Fantastic.
put that up on the screen?
Yes, I am.
Got it on my screen if you can bring it up.
Yeah, I'll bring it up on screen in just one sec. So just as Joff was just saying there, grab yourself an abstract wallet address. It's dead easy. Joff is the Web3 guy. Me and Joff, we're co-founders of Corp Dogs, which is our digital NFT release. I'm the artist. Joff is the Web3 guy. I am the least Web3 guy in Web3. I don't know anything about what's going on. That's why Joff's there for me. But I managed to get onto Abstract. Would you say it was abs.xyz? Managed to get on there, create myself a wallet within seconds. It was so easy. Didn't cost me anything. Got myself a wallet. So yeah, just go there. If you've got a Google account or something like that, you can just use your Google account to sign up. It's dead easy. But that is the best way. So you can start your NFT collection. And probably a good point for me to mention as well is that Corp Dogs is all about getting you creative, but also growing your art collection. So we're getting you creative by showing you what Remouse is drawing and asking you to kind of copy along, learn a few bits about his technique, his way of drawing. And then we're growing your art collection by doing this little giveaway, which we're just going to have a little look now.
Well, I was going to give people a quick demo of signing into Abstract.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to do that then? Yeah. So here we go then.
Bit of a segue.
Yep.
I mean, I won't actually do a sign in, but the actual process to registering, click the big green button and then click your Google account or enter your email address. And it's literally that. When you get an email and you're in.
Excellent.
Are you just moving the screen around at your end?
Yeah, I tried to.
I think it's cropped slightly on the left.
I tried to make it bigger, but it didn't work. Long story. Anyway, so
does that work? There we go.
Yeah, that's much better. Thanks, mate. So yeah, nice and easy. Just tap on that Google button, and it pretty much does the rest for you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. And then the address people need to go to is corpdogs.xyz/free. And then that's what you should see. And then put the word scoop in there. In fact, let's do that.
Little live run through.
I know.
This was all part of the plan before we started the session today.
And then, yeah, just stick your abstract wallet address in there, hit submit, and then leave the rest to us.
It is as easy.
Or me.
If anybody does struggle with it, just get in touch with us. Joff and I can help you out. It is and should be dead easy. Joff, you're to bring up the NFT, or we're minting this as an NFT, yeah?
Yes. It's going to be minted on Abstract.
So there you go. There's the piece that we're going to mint on Abstract. I wouldn't say this is your usual style, Russ. What's the story behind this piece?
I think it was just trying out something different. It was kind of like an NFT idea I had. Didn't really run with it because, like you said, Web3 confuses and scares me. So I thought it'd be a good opportunity to have it out there.
Excellent.
That's really cool. Have you created NFTs before?
Not overly. I've done a few little ones with some other developers. They did well. I love the Web3 NFT space. I think it's great for artists. I was kind of never against it. A lot of my artist mates were against it. And I was like, well, I know there's complications, but I was like, it's another way for artists to kind of promote their work and make money from it. I don't know the issue, but
yeah,
I'm definitely looking to get into it more. It's just finding the right space for me.
Yeah. Awesome.
That's music to our ears, yeah, Joff?
Yeah, that's kind of what we're here for.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is the Corp Dog. The whole session is brought by Corp Dogs, which is Joff and mine's NFT project. One of the things we want to do is launch other artists into the space as well, and it will be artists hopefully like Remouse. Nothing's been agreed yet, but it will be loads of different artists that we want to launch into the space, start creating artwork. And putting it out there and bringing that feel-good factor to the NFT world. But that's an amazing piece. I really appreciate you donating that to us. It'll be interesting to see how many actually get minted, how rare it becomes, or whatnot. But yeah, that's awesome. Thank you very much. How are we getting on with your drawing? Is it? Would you say it's a finished or semi-finished state?
I would say it's in a good state now. Like I said, if everyone wants to stay up till midnight or something, we can keep it going. But I say at the moment, it's a good state for like an example of how I work. Like I said, it's very a quick version of how I work,
Yeah.
but like I said, because I will literally sit here for hours, really going into the line work, making sure everything's perfect. But it's a good example of one of my scoops.
That's brilliant, mate. And I can just see some little highlights that you've put on there as well. Those extra little lines for the shadows. I'm loving that. There's loads in there.
Yeah. What I like to do as well is I don't like to go, like I was saying before, don't go too heavy. Sometimes I just add shadow where it's needed. Like I've not added it into the sprinkles or anything because I just think then like it might start looking too much. So I just add it where it's needed.
No, that's awesome, mate. Let's one last look at people's artwork in Discord, and then I really want us to take a look at some of your artwork, if that's okay, mate. We've only got a few minutes left, and I'm thinking that it's we have a little look at some of your pieces, talk about some projects that you've got coming up and things like that. Okay, so yeah, just one more little look at a couple of pieces that have just dropped in Discord. Just give it a few seconds to pop up on screen. Who's this? This is Tracy. Tracy's gone with the ice cream little tub down the bottom. I think it was Tracy that was asking about whether the scoops live in creams, in tubs or cones. Come on, Tracy, time to get some pen on there, mate. I think the pencil work looked amazing. Check out what Moop's done as well. That's nice.
Oh, awesome.
Simple colour tones there. Looks really cold with that like aqua green colour in the bottom there. That's fantastic. Thank you very much, Moop. And yeah, just a reminder, the secret word is scoop. If you want to get hold of one of the pieces of artwork that's been donated by us. Thanks very much, mate. I appreciate you sharing your process for digital drawing. It's been an insight for me as well. I know there's plenty of things that I'm going to steal from you. If you're going to steal the way I draw hands, feels like a fair trade. Right.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Let's have a little look at some of Russ's artwork. So where are we? What's this piece? I recognise the character, but yeah, tell us about this. Where did this come from?
Yeah, so this is almost like the direction I want to take my art now, where it's heroes battling hordes of ice creams, and it kind of is a U-turn on a project I was working on, which I called like my favorite flavors. And I was like doing, you might be able to see it in the background of the screen. They've got like, I was drawing like my favorite pop culture characters as scoops on canvases. And I just reached a point where I was like, I'm not enjoying this project anymore. It doesn't feel like me, the direction I want to take my artwork.
Yeah.
So I flipped it where I'm now going to do characters inspired by my favorite pop culture characters and have them battling ice cream. So like say with this one, it's Marvin the Martian.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like an alien bounty hunter. Like it's just a girl that's got a symbiote alien on her.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of how I'm mixing things now. So it feels more like a Remouse piece rather than drawing Marvin the Martian.
And where do you stand? I think you just spoke a bit about commissions. Where do you kind of stand on commissions? Are you like open to commissions, or are you like, I'm just going to back off from commissions and just do what I want to do as an artist?
I'm always on the fence sometimes because I will admit I love drawing for myself. It's so much more fun, but I quite happily take on commissions every now and then. But it's weird sometimes. I prefer to be told what to draw with a commission because then it takes a bit of stress out. Like sometimes it's fun to be told have fun, but then you're like, oh, fuck, I've got to spend ages thinking up what to draw.
Yeah. So is it more a case of like somebody who's commissioning you would tell you what they want drawing, but it's going to be in your style? Yeah, they can't tell you what style to draw.
Yeah, that's what I always said. Like normally, like, especially if someone's like, "Oh, draw like Corp," I'm like, just get into contact with Corp, get him to draw it.
Yeah, and I'll be cheaper as well, so it makes more sense. Do it that way. What about this one then? So this, I recognise this character.
Yeah, it's a variation literally on the first piece because normally, like when inspiration hits, I'm like, I want to do different versions. And I did see another artist talk about how you can turn one illustration into like three sources of income.
Mm-hmm.
So, say what he said is like, do one as a big canvas. That's like your blue chip piece, but then do another version which is like say an A3 limited print, and then do another version where it's like an A4 really affordable piece. So it kind of gives your fans different levels. So say if you're someone bit of a low income but love my art, there's an option. Like a nice affordable print. So I wanted to try it out with this one and do different versions of the same character, and then like have them at different price points because I'm hoping this one will be a canvas one day when I'm not changing nappies as much.
Do you start with like the digital work and move to canvas, or do you do stuff on canvas then put it into digital?
More always start digitally because it's like what I was saying before. I get too much in my head and I'm like, I need everything planned out perfectly. And then even then, it's like then I know what to buy, so I'm not wasting money buying paint. I'm like, I'm not going to use these paints.
I've just seen this one's riding a fish as well.
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah,
goldfish or
like
something, is it? Or koi carp or something.
because it's based on Lilo and Stitch, and if you're a fan of the film, she has a fish called Pudge that she feeds a peanut butter sandwich to.
Right.
And so, like I said, it's me taking the character. Like, how can I incorporate things? And when I was like working out what to do with this, because originally it was just going to be her jumping in the air, firing her guns, destroying ice creams. I was like, oh, it's not working. And I was like, oh, there's a goldfish in the film. Like, I'm going to incorporate that now.
I love that. And is this kind of stuff available at the moment, or is it just for fun?
Yeah, I like to keep. I've just had to step. Like, I just did a big studio clear out, but a lot of my new recent pieces are available as prints. Those ones you've just seen. This one is a t-shirt. I've still got some available if people prefer foxes to Tories.
I've got that T-shirt as well.
Hey.
Yeah, I love it, and it came with a little sticker as well, which it's such a good sticker. I haven't actually stuck it down, so I'm really sorry about that. But yeah, this is one of your T-shirts that's available. I did. I live in Stamford, which is like 80% Tory, and it was fun walking around Stamford with that T-shirt on. It got a few comments, all nice comments as well.
Oh, good.
What is it? It says hunt Tories.
Hunt Tories, not foxes. I'm a massive fan of foxes. I oppose fox hunting, and then I kind of got this idea for a t-shirt, and just to see if people shared my views, and happily they do.
Are there any available of that T-shirt? Is that all sold out, or you still got a couple knocking around?
No, still got a few on sale now because they're getting old. As the years go by, I like to drop prices, just because it's getting to an old design. I've got some misprints of it too. The misprints look exactly the same, just some of the dots came up in the printing process. So in the text, there might be like one or two dots missing. But I thought once again, I like to make things affordable to people. So I'm like, hey, look, if you don't mind a few missing dots, you can have a cheaper one.
Yeah,
Can
discount.
you ship these worldwide?
Yeah, apart from Europe, that's like a minefield at the minute.
Right.
It's something to do with customs changes. I went down a rabbit hole in it, and I think
Oh, I
it's
think I
still
saw
like
your
that.
post about that. I think you
Yeah,
did a
so I
video.
think
Yeah.
at the moment I'm still avoiding Europe because that's weird.
It might be easier. Anybody in Europe who wants one, get Joff to buy it for you. He'll send it over. I think as business people, as people who are selling t-shirts, it's more difficult for us to kind of sell things abroad. But as somebody gifting something, that kind of works out. You're okay to gift stuff. But yeah, there are some really weird rules that kind of came in last year that are stopping us from doing that. So anybody in the US, anybody in the UK, if you want to pick up yourself a fantastic t-shirt, nice quality as well. Go and head over to what's your website called, Remouse?
Literally www.remouse.co.uk.
Oh, nice. That's easy.
Yeah. Like I said, that company might try and rob it one day, but for now, I'm holding on to it.
Yeah, to the URL. Yeah, nice one. Right, we've got some more pieces to have a little look at, Joff. Let's whip through.
Yeah, I saw that one, which I thought was interesting because it's lacking colour. I don't
Yeah,
know
I
what
was
the
I was
story
going to
behind that
say,
was.
I thought this one would be fun to show off as a bit of an exclusive to people watching it. This is the next t-shirt design that I'm working on, and I'm hoping it's going to be a screen print, hence the lack of colours, because with screen prints it's better just to do one screen, otherwise the cost goes up.
Mm.
Something a bit different. It's based on a funny story, but I was just like, I'm going to try it as a t-shirt and see if other people like it.
You know, you can't tee it up by saying it's based on a funny story and then not actually tell us a little bit about the funny story.
To be honest, it's not a funny story, but it goes to show that inspiration can hit in random ways.
Yeah.
Me and my partner were on holiday in Kos, and this guy would drive up and down the beach just shouting, "60 donuts, leka leka, 60 donuts." And I found it amazing. And so, like, I said to my partner, like, "Oh, I've got an idea for a design based on that." And she's like, "What?" And I was like, "Just wait and see." And I didn't touch it for ages, but because I'm trying to build up my t-shirt brand now, I thought, oh, I'll give this one a go. And I drew up a sexy donut.
Brilliant. I love that.
But like I said, that just shows that inspiration can hit you in random ways.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be visual inspiration. It can just be something that somebody says that can kind of trigger an image in your head, which it's nice to know that somebody shouting sexy donuts, this is what you see.
Yeah, and what was even more funny about him, he was a really happy guy, but as soon as you went to go buy his donuts, he turned really like morbid and serious, like, yeah, here, bye.
Excellent stuff. When's this t-shirt going to be available? If somebody wants to buy it, do they have to pre-order it or?
I'm still trying to work out the kinks because I've never really done a screen print before, so it's kind of finding, because I like to avoid buying in bulk with my t-shirts. Because in the past I've done it and I've been left with boxes of t-shirts for years. So I like to try find ways. I think I found a few sites that might be able to do like a campaign, like a Kickstarter.
Yeah.
So, but I'm hoping end of April at least.
Do you have a mailing?
Maybe sooner.
Can people sign up for a mailing list so they know when these are going to be out, or is it a case of keep your eyes peeled and you'll put a message out on Instagram?
Keep an eye on my socials,
yeah,
because I'm giving a lot of secrets away on this stream to people, but I kind of want to market it like I'm going to set up an OnlyFans. So just keep out for posts that look like I'm going to set up an OnlyFans.
Okay. Oh, excellent! I can't wait for that. I love it. What's Joff showing us now? So this is Joff's screen. Joff's showing us. Is this? Oh, this is your Instagram page.
Yeah. So it's just Remouse 1991.
You weren't born in 1991, were you?
I was.
Man, that's me. Nice.
It's a couple of decades.
Yeah, a couple of decades older, isn't it? That's ridiculous. But yeah, I'm loving these pieces in the Instagram feed. Anybody who wants to get a bit more involved in what Remouse is doing, yeah, just go and follow him on Instagram. So the work there is tied together beautifully and looks really nice. What else?
Just going to bring up this piece.
Oh yeah, go on then.
Where is it?
What have we got coming up now?
That one. Just love the colours on that.
What's the deal behind this one, Russ?
That's another one that I was going to do on a kind of like a mini canvas,
Mhm.
but like I don't know about other people. My brain is very scattered. So I'll start on one project, get halfway through and think, oh, I want to do this one. And then like I'll go off. And I literally found it the other day on my iPad. And I was like, oh, I need to bring this one back because I really like it. Like history is a massive influence to me, especially like Japanese history. So hence the samurai head. And yeah, there's not much to say about it. I just wanted to draw a cool samurai head.
Looks amazing. Sounds like Joff's a fan of.
And the yeah, and the colours again, was that something that you had in mind, or you got inspiration from, or from
Um,
the online tool, or where did that
Probably a
come from?
bit of Egypt's colours. She works a
Yep.
lot in
Yeah.
purples and pinks and greens. I think I was just looking at some of hers and I was like, I kind of want to use them. Which once again, it's finding inspiration from other artists.
Yeah. Yeah. She did a Corp Dog Stray of very similar colours,
Oh
similar
yeah,
palette.
she did, didn't she?
And I think yeah, that's probably why I liked that piece as well. I think they're kind of yeah, it's a
Yeah,
really
I
cool
love
palette.
her colours. We've got so much of her artwork in our house because luckily my partner likes it. So it's actually not in my studio. She allows that to be out.
Out in the actual living space of your house, yeah.
Yeah, she's very grandma cottage core with the house, whereas I'm very like pop arty.
I've never heard that before, but I really like that cottage core.
Yeah, I think it is a term. I've definitely heard it. I'm sure if you search it on Pinterest, lots of things will come up.
It's a term now. I love it. What is this one we've got? This is more of the more of your Japanese inspirations, yeah.
Yeah, it's a Pokemon piece I did
Right.
for a show called Pocket Monsters. A guy set it up just after lockdown because I think he wanted to do a show to help male mental health.
Hmm.
And so he set up this project where he got artists to draw the original 150 Pokemon. And that did really well. He raised a lot of money for the charity. So he's like, oh, we're going to do Generation 2 now of Pokemon. And it was literally like anyone could join in. You just needed to say which Pokemon you wanted to draw. Luckily, I got Taslosian, my best Pokemon. And yeah, this is the piece I did for it. He's slowly putting together a gallery show for it. So once again, keep an eye on my socials because I'll be attending and showing this piece off.
Brilliant. I love that. That's fantastic. What any more we've got to have a look at, Joff? Look at that. Oh wow.
That's cool.
Once again, just my inspiration from history. I was listening to a lot of Roman podcasts, and I'm like, I'm going to draw a gladiator.
But it's just the ability to kind of get your own style on that gladiator. It would take me ages to kind of get to that point. But that looks fantastic. Is it standing on something?
Oh, yeah, he's standing on a scoop.
Of course it is.
Like I said, I think this is where I started to put things together because I think it was when I just finished drawing like an ice cream inspired by a pop culture character, and I was like, I just want to draw a character for me.
Yeah.
So I drew this character, and I was like, you know what? I think this is the direction I want to take my art now.
Mm. Yeah, I just
And
know.
it's got the little crown in the speech bubble as well.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, that's kind of like looking at comics. I know I've read a few comics, I can't remember them, where instead of speech, they just use like little icons. And I was like, that's a nice way to include speech, but not have text.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fills that space really nicely as well. I think you take that out and then you've got a little bit of blank space there. Okay, I remember these t-shirts coming out. What's the story behind these Bone Storm t-shirts?
Inspired by The Simpsons because I've worked in licensing t-shirts before, and licenses don't want to do things that I think fans want. So I've taken it upon myself to do t-shirts that fans will be more interested in. Um, yeah, and also it's probably just designing t-shirts that I want. This is like done more in the Simpsons style because I'm just trying to hit that market. It's kind of a t-shirt company I'm thinking up. that I
Okay.
kind of want to call cease and desist, because there'll be designs that probably Disney will come after
Yeah.
me for. So I'm like, I'll take them down then.
Brilliant. The ultimate.
So is that like a Goro inspired character?
Yeah, like if you remember the episode, it's like Bart wants to buy like their version of Mortal Kombat. So I
Yeah.
was watching it one day and I was like, that'd make a cool t-shirt.
So here we go. We've got a couple of questions coming in as well. So Clive is asking, what paint do you use on canvas?
I use Poscas a lot because they're fun and easy to use, a nice smooth line. Slowly learning to use brush to do the outline, but Poscas are just great for that. And I use Liquitex a lot. Once again, Egypt, she told me like that's a good paint to use, and it's a bit more pricier, but I found that the consistency of it is really nice. But yeah, that's the materials I use on canvas. Oh, and spray paint too. I normally do my backgrounds with spray paint.
What have we got on here now, Joff? Where's this one taking us? Does the writing, does that translate well?
There's so much going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully it does mean that. I'd like to triple check translations.
I might just have a quick look now.
It's something like destroy the ice cream or something. But once again, it just shows like what I want to do: characters fighting ice creams.
Yeah, what I love is on your Instagram feed that these pieces you kind of like tease little tiny sections of each piece, and then you show the whole kind of big thing, and you can see how all of these like what look really nice as individual pieces are actually a one bigger piece with, like Geoff said, just loads going on with it.
Yeah, I think because I do like to add detail, I'm like kind of want to show it off a bit.
Yeah, that comes across. Yeah, I can even see
that. Those translations do seem to check out, so I think you're good.
Ooh, good.
It's brilliant how the man in the chair can go and quickly get a Japanese translator just like that. That's
I know, it's amazing.
That's awesome. Nice one. Any other projects that you've got coming up that we haven't spoken about that you'd like to talk about?
I guess I'm trying to, like I said, build up my t-shirt company because I'm trying to find that good second income thing. Like, as you know, being a parent, your funds go down really quick. And so I'm looking at more maybe of a print on demand model. And then I'm determined to do my own gallery show of, like I said, those characters fighting ice cream. I was hoping to do it this year, been put on hold due to the little baby next door. So hopefully, because he starts nursery next week, so that gives me a few hours where hopefully I can get a canvas out and start painting them. So that's my goal, to do my own gallery show.
Fantastic. And whereabouts? Because are you based in Manchester? Will it be a gallery show in Manchester, do you think?
Yeah, probably Manchester. I'm kind of at the moment in between like Manchester and Liverpool, so I'll reach out to places, see who bites.
Fantastic. Right, let's leave it just there. I just want to thank you once again, Russ, for coming on. I appreciate it. It's the first time we've had an artist on to do a live drawing lesson and to talk about their artwork on Let's Draw, and you've made it a very easy and educational and interesting process. So just thank you very much for coming on board and showing us.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah, cheers for having me. Hopefully it went okay. Like I said, I'm not the most literate man.
This is what we do as artists. We get everything across visually rather than with words. So it's worked a treat. If one last thing, then, if anybody wants to, what's the best way of people kind of supporting you and getting in touch with what you do?
I say just follow me on Instagram. That's my best social media platform. I'm always up for chatting. Buy a print if you want, but most of the time I'm just happy if people follow me and engage with my artwork.
Yeah, perfect. Nice one. Lovely stuff. Right. Thank you again, Russ. Appreciate you coming on. Just for everybody else, just a reminder that Sorry, we've just lost everyone on X. X has just dropped out, which is good because we're about to wrap up anyway. But yeah, just a reminder to everybody else who's watching that next week we're going to do similar kind of setup to this. We're going to use Aaron McPhail is going to be our artist who's going to be showing us a little bit about how they draw. And then the week after we've got Created by Imri, who I'm really excited about as well, who's a world illustrator champion. Who's kind of come on, show us a little bit about his drawing and his NFT work. As well. So we've got that coming up in the next 2 weeks. So yeah, do me one last favor. If you like what you've seen today, just support the channel. Just go share it around. Tell your friends to tell their friends about what we're doing. And yeah, thank you very much for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you all again next week. Take care, everyone. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Cheers.